As you settle in for rest tonight, let's slow down together for a quiet moment, reflecting on God's truth, and then we'll enter into prayer. God has been faithful to you throughout this day, and His faithfulness will still be with you when tomorrow comes. The day has gently reached its edge, not with a loud ending, but with a soft easing. The light has dimmed, the rooms have quieted, and the pace around you has finally slowed. You may still feel traces of the day in your body, a tightness in the shoulders, a heaviness behind the eyes, the kind of tiredness that comes not only from doing, but from carrying. There is no need to measure the day now, no need to decide whether it was successful or disappointing. It simply was. It unfolded moment by moment, and now it is complete. As you settle here, you can become aware of how your breathing naturally slows when nothing is required of you. Your jaw loosens, your hands rest without effort, your thoughts begin to space themselves out, no longer crowding so closely together. Through all of it, the conversations, the silences, the responsibilities, the pauses, God was present, not hovering, not demanding, simply near. You may not have noticed that presence in the moment. Often it is quiet, woven into ordinary hours, but it was there in the strength that carried you through routine tasks and in the restraint that kept you going when energy was low. Nothing about today needs to be fixed before you rest. Nothing needs to be resolved or improved. This moment does not ask you to hold everything together. The day has already been held, and now you are allowed to release it. You can let the evening receive you as you are. You can let your body sink into stillness. You can let your mind ease into a gentler rhythm. There is permission here to stop striving, permission to rest without explanation, permission to be cared for as the night unfolds. What thoughts are still quietly moving through you as the day fades? Which moments seem to linger even now without asking to be solved? Is there a feeling you noticed earlier but never named, simply because there was no space for it at the time? What did you carry today that no one else could see? Where did your energy feel steady, and where did it feel thin or stretched? Are there words you held back, not because they were wrong, but because the moment never felt right? What part of the day is asking to be gently acknowledged, rather than analyzed? Is there something you keep returning to in your thoughts, even though the day has ended? What weight would your body be grateful to set down tonight? What small moment, easily overlooked, offered you a hint of steadiness or quiet support? What kindness, given or received, passed by without needing attention at the time? If gratitude were to surface naturally without effort, where might it begin? What would it feel like to let appreciation rise without attaching it to performance or outcome? And as you notice these things, can you allow them to rest here, without judgment, as the evening gently opens your heart toward thankfulness? As the noise of the day continues to soften, you may begin to notice what quietly sustained you. Not the dramatic moments, but the steady ones, the ordinary supports that asked for no attention while they did their work. Perhaps there was a routine that held its shape and gave you something solid to lean on, a familiar path, a repeated task, something dependable in a day that otherwise kept shifting. You may recall a moment of calm that slipped in briefly, a pause between responsibilities, a breath taken without thinking, a stretch of time that passed without pressure. These moments rarely announce themselves. They arrive gently and they leave just as quietly. There was enough today, enough strength to meet what was in front of you, enough clarity to make the next small decision, enough steadiness to keep moving, even when enthusiasm was absent. You were supported in ways that did not require recognition, through systems that functioned, through people who showed up in simple, consistent ways, through inner reserves that did not need to be explained. Gratitude here does not rush or overflow. It settles. It widens your awareness beyond effort and outcome toward a sense of being upheld. As you rest with this awareness, the day becomes part of something larger than itself. Your life, your time, your breath are connected to more than what you carried alone. And in that widening, there is room to feel quietly thankful, not only for what touched you directly, but for the unseen steadiness that continues beyond you, holding others as well. As the evening deepens, your awareness may naturally move outward, beyond your own thoughts, beyond the edges of your day. You may find yourself thinking of people you care about, some nearby, some far away, each of them carrying their own quiet stories into the night. There are others you may never meet, settling into rest with similar weariness, people finishing long days, people holding questions without answers, people lying down with hopes that feel fragile yet persistent. Across homes and cities, across rooms both full and empty, there is a shared human need to be held by something steady, to be seen without explanation, to be allowed to rest without proving anything. This awareness does not need to become heavy. It does not require fixing or solving. It is simply a gentle recognition that you are not alone in your tiredness, nor in your longing for peace. As you hold this sense of shared fragility, the heart softens. The inner posture shifts from effort to openness. And in that openness, you may feel ready to move from reflection into prayer, without urgency, without pressure, simply as a natural next step. If you feel ready, you can now allow these reflections to become prayer. Not by changing your posture or your breathing, but by gently turning your attention toward God. There is no need to perform or explain. Simply let your words or your silence rest in His presence as we begin to pray together. God, as this night unfolds, I come to you just as I am. Not gathered together, not polished or resolved, simply present. I thank you for carrying me through this day, not because I did everything well, but because you remained steady even when I was not. There were moments when I felt strong enough and moments when I did not. Through all of it, you were near, and that is enough. I am grateful for the quiet help that never asked for recognition, for the restraint that kept me from saying what did not need to be said, for the endurance that showed up when motivation did not, for the small mercies woven into ordinary hours. Tonight, I do not want to replay the day anymore. I do not want to rehearse conversations or imagine different outcomes. So I bring you the thoughts that keep circling, the ones that rise as soon as things go quiet. I lay them down gently, one by one, without needing to name them all. I release the unfinished pieces, the decisions still waiting, the tension of not knowing how things will turn out. I let tomorrow remain where it belongs, beyond this moment. God, you see the weight I have been holding in my body, the tight places I have grown used to, the effort it takes just to stay upright some days. As I rest here, I ask that you slowly loosen what has been held too long. Let my breathing deepen without effort. Let my shoulders lower. Let the muscles that have been guarding finally soften. I do not ask for anything dramatic, only for a gentle easing, a sense of being allowed to rest. Quiet my mind, God, not by force, but by presence. Let the inner noise gradually lose its urgency. Let the constant scanning for what might go wrong begin to fade. If emotions surface that I do not have words for, hold them with me. If memories drift through, let them pass without pulling me back into effort. Teach my inner world that it is safe to be still. As this night deepens, I place my sleep into your care, not as an escape, but as restoration. Let rest come naturally, without pressure to fall asleep quickly or deeply. However sleep arrives tonight, let it be enough. Watch over my home as I rest. Let the space around me feel settled and safe. Extend that same covering to those I love, near and far. Hold them through this night in ways I cannot. God, I entrust to you the things I could not fix today, the moments that left me unsettled, the regrets I wish I could redo. I place them in your hands, not to be judged, but to be carried. If fear tries to follow me into the dark, remind me that I am not alone. If loneliness whispers, let your nearness be a quiet answer, not loud, not overwhelming, just steady and sure. I let go of the pressure to stay strong. I release the need to control what comes next. I allow myself to be held rather than holding everything together. Thank you for staying awake through the hours when I sleep, for being present even when I am unaware, for continuing your care without needing my attention. As the night moves on, let this prayer slowly fade into trust. No resolution required, no final thoughts to complete, just rest. I place myself into your keeping now. Nothing else needs to be done. Amen. If this prayer met you where you are tonight, you're welcome to type Amen in the comments as a quiet expression of agreement. And if there is something resting on your heart that you would like prayer for, you may share it gently below. May your night be calm, your rest be deep, and may you feel quietly held as you sleep.